Welcome back to Jack Sports Zone. Joining us today is IUPUI senior Marcus Burk. ESPN writer Jeff Borzello recently deemed Burk National Player of the Week for his performance in Chicago against UIC. He scored 70 points over 2 games on nearly 70% shooting from the floor and 70% shooting from 3. For the second time in his 2-year career as a Jaguar, Burk earned Horizon League Conference Player of the Week. At over 22 points per game, Burk averages the 5th highest total in NCAA Division I and is also in the top 10 for career active scoring. Let's take a look at that interview. So I wanted you to explain what your transition was like transferring from Campbell University to come back home in Indianapolis, and how did it feel joining the IUPUI team with a brand new coach?
Coming back from Campbell was like a good opportunity for me, honestly. You know, I got to come back home where my family's at, be around my parents. And I was just around like some of the people that I left that I was close to. So definitely been able to get that relationship back with them was good. That summer coming back is when I was really working the hardest, you know, trying to get in shape and trying to make sure like prepare for even my sit out year, trying to prepare for the upcoming season after that. So all that hard work like went into that season to be ready to play for IUPUI.
So you declared for the NBA draft at the end of last season. Can you describe going through the draft process and how you approach coming back for your senior season?
Well, the draft process last year wasn't like any other draft process, like considering I couldn't go out and actually like showcase to other teams like at their workout camps or like their training camps, whatever they had. So like it was all virtual. So I just had to get virtual feedback from teams, and I just used that feedback that they gave me to prepare for the upcoming season.
Do you feel as if though this season you have become more of a floor general, or do you think your offense has progressed enough that you have become a major shot creator?
That's a tough question. I feel like it's a little bit of both, you know. I usually just like I try to read the defense and take what they give me. So like that's really my main thing. And obviously play unselfish, but you know take opportunities when they're there, because those opportunities might not come back for that whole possession.
Joining us today inside the Jack Sports Zone studio inside Kavanaugh Hall is 3-time Horizon League Player of the Year, Macee Williams. Can you describe the biggest difference between last year's tournament run and this year?
I just feel like not technically making it into the NCAA tournament. I just feel like for us as a team, it's kind of like a whole new atmosphere to come back into the tournament, and just like there's not much like stress on us. It's kind of just, like I said, just like a new process for us.
So what aspect of your game has developed the most in your 4 years at IUPUI?
Coming in my freshman year, I was a post, but I just felt like I didn't have like the strength, the height, or the speed to be a D1 athlete post player. So just kind of just working on that. And I mean, I was dominant with my left hand, so definitely working more on my right hand and kind of just learning more about the game and learning how to shoot farther away from the basket.
Here in Indiana, basketball has a different meaning than other sports. Basketball is more than just a game, hoopers are more than just athletes, and the history of Hoosier basketball dates back over 8 decades. In 2020, the NCAA canceled the National Basketball Tournament due to the coronavirus pandemic. But if you take a look behind me, this was how the entire 2019 bracket was completed and filled in. To illustrate how the winning team battled its way through the tournament to the national championship, let's take a look at the journey to the #1 seed of the Southern region, the Virginia Cavaliers. The tournament is made up of 64 teams. Normally, the 64 teams are divided into 4 regions and seeded 1 through 16 to compete against each other to reach the Final Four. This year, under once-in-a-lifetime circumstances, the entire March Madness tournament will be held in the Hoosier state of Indiana. From Friday, March 19th through Monday, March 22nd, teams will compete in the first 2 rounds of the men's basketball tournament at 6 different host sites, all in the state of Indiana. Included with IU and Purdue as hosts are Hinkle Fieldhouse at Butler University, the Indiana Farmers Coliseum hosted by IUPUI, and Bankers Life Fieldhouse and Lucas Oil Stadium. The Sweet 16 will be played during the final weekend of March at Bankers Life and Hinkle Fieldhouse. The Elite 8 will be played at the home of the Indianapolis Colts, Lucas Oil Stadium. And the final 4 teams left in the 2021 NCAA tournament will also compete at Lucas Oil Stadium, with the national championship game scheduled to play the day after Easter on Monday, April 5th. If you take a look at this bracket from 2019, UC Irvine, the number 13 seed, defeated Kansas State, the number 4 seed. Just because a team is ranked higher does not mean that they are better on that day. Cinderella stories do happen, and magic always occurs during the March Madness tournament. But students, as you're filling out your own March Madness bracket, trust your heart and consider this. Cinderella stories are more than just make-believe. We never know who's going to make the Final Four, but can you choose a team that dominates this competition and takes home the national championship right here in Indianapolis? To every fan, parent, player, coach, and student, rejoice, March Madness is finally back.
Aspect of your game that you've been training on will translate best at the next level?
I think my catching ability, being able to catch the ball, whatever the ball is thrown to me, whether that's short, medium, long, and also my contested catches.
Thomas Butler-Guerrero from IUPUI, go ahead.
Yes, Teaira, you're shooting real well in the bubble and dominated with the starters to begin the second half. Is Coach alluding to defense as the factor to remain there, or are you taking it upon yourself to become more aggressive?
No, I'm taking it upon myself to be more aggressive because I feel like once I get going and my teammates see like that I'm amped up and I'm ready to go, I'm ready to play, and they'll feed off me, and it's just like, okay, T's ready to go, so, I need to step up. If not, then someone's coming for me, and whoever is coming in, it's like, okay, we see T playing, so, let's go.
Welcome to the NCAA headquarters here in downtown Indianapolis. My name is Thomas Butler-Guerrero, and today I am joined by the Director of Inclusion of the NCAA, Ms. Nia Blair Hackworth. I'm also joined by the Assistant Director of Inclusion, Mr. Shay Wallach. So the first question I had for you today, can you explain your own definition of diversity?
Yeah, great question. To me, diversity is about understanding and appreciating our individual differences that we all have, our unique qualities such as our race, ethnicity, one's gender, sexual orientation, our socioeconomic status, just all those different things that make us unique in who we are.
So I look at diversity as just that spectrum, and inclusion to me is the action of making sure that everybody from that spectrum are being accounted for, and the result of that is belonging.
Can you elaborate on the benefits of diversity and how it makes a company like the NCAA succeed?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in any company or organization, I think the benefits of having a diverse and inclusive environment are endless. I think that companies that does not have a diverse staff are limiting themselves and preventing themselves from of the greatest gifts, which is just the diversity of the culmination of all of those different backgrounds and point of views.
There's been a significant rise in minorities and executives in managerial roles. What is the importance of inclusion, even to the professional ranks?
It's very important, and while we have these individuals, as you mentioned, are making strides, there's definitely more room to grow in those areas. And I think that it's great that organizations in our country are starting to, really not just see but understand the value that diversity brings into the room to contribute to the success of an organization or to our country.
Thank you, Nia. Those are powerful messages. Great to be back here at the NCAA headquarters. I know you guys are back for the first time, but again, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back at the jungle, David Song, Thomas Butler-Guerrero here for the start of the fourth corner. We have a very special guest, former Milwaukee Buck, Indiana's own George Hill, NBA champion. He's in the building cheering on the IUPUI Lady Jag.
Welcome back. You're with Thomas Butler-Guerrero, and next to me is George Hill. So let's reminisce about your time here at IUPUI through that tournament that you made with the Jaguars and what it was like to wear the Jaguars uniform on your back.
I mean, it was fun. When I finally went, when I was here, it was the summit at the time. We were actually playing in this gym before we started playing at the Farmers Arena down at the State Fairgrounds, and just to come back to this gym, it brings back all the memories, and having a couple of my teammates here with me tonight, Christopher Scott and David Barlow that was here with Matt Crenshaw at the same time. It just when you walk in this gym, you just try to picture yourself when you were playing here all those years, and man, I wish I can go back to college basketball right now.
What aspect of your game evolved the most during your 4 years here?
I don't know. I took everything in consideration while I was here. As far as who I am as a basketball player was all built, between these lines here. I was challenged every day. I was from this city, so it meant more to me to make a name for myself in this city from being from this city. And I wanted to do something special. I wanted to be the first player to make it to the NBA out of here, to show people that it don't matter what school you go to, as long as you put in the work and you play hard and you're good enough, that they'll find you, and I got to accomplish that.
So I was able to speak with Coach Crenshaw, and one of the major things that he wanted to do with this program is to get Indiana-raised kids, Indianapolis-raised kids. You have a team like the Purdue Boilermakers. They lead the country in amount of points scored from players in their home state. So what does IUPUI have to do to be able to develop players that can compete on the national level at D1?
I mean, like we just said, you got to recruit home talent. We have a lot of guys that's come from Indianapolis and Indiana, period, that can play this game. I have one of the top AAU programs in this state of Indiana, and it's not a coincidence that not one of my players have had a scholarship to this school as of late. But when Creedy coming in here, that was his first thing, is to get a lot of kids that's from Indiana to be able to stay home and play, Indianapolis and Indiana basketball. And I think we have a phenomenal, group of men and women who can play at a high level. And it's just good to see, guys are coming back trying to fill these courts and these stands with kids from Indiana.
Well, I appreciate you so much for your time, George. Congratulations on your 2021 championship with the Milwaukee Bucks and your remarkable NBA career and IUPUI career. Again, thank you so much, and we're glad to have you on.
Thank you so much.
Joining us today inside the Jag Sports Zone studio is the new head basketball coach for IUPUI, former Jaguar Matt Crenshaw. His number 21 jersey became the third Jaguar uniform to have their number retired by the program. First off, I want to ask, how are you and what it means to have this opportunity?
I'm great, man. I'm really excited about this opportunity. It's good to be back home. I'm ready to rebuild the program and take it to new heights. Obviously, as an assistant coach, this is something that I thought about. And as I've always said, I wanted to have more success than I had as a player or an assistant coach. Obviously, with that, we went to the NCAA tournament and we won 25-plus wins. So I'm looking to have major success and looking to get the program fueled and headed in the right direction.
You were an assistant for the program's first NCAA postseason win and helped develop players into the league such as George Hill. Can you explain the inspiration that former IUPUI head coach Ron Hunter had on you?
I'm forever thankful for Coach Hunter. He coached me, obviously, but he gave me my break in the business. I came around and was somewhat volunteering for a year and just showing that I wanted to really coach. And when he had an opening, he had many other people he could have hired, and he hired me. And so I'm forever thankful for Coach for that. And then along the way, as I progressed in my career, Coach said I would be a head coach. I mean, it's power in words, and what he said, actually happened. And so I'm thankful for Coach for that.
And how do you plan to draw Indiana high school recruits?
The state of Indiana, the city of Indianapolis, inside 465, that's home base for us. So we're going to be on the phone with those high school coaches on the Zooms, in their gyms, letting them know we want to recruit and then retain, keep those guys here in the state or in the city to come to our institution. And then it's about selling what IUPUI has to offer, not just the athletic side of it. You can walk away with a Big Ten degree. You can walk away with an Indiana University degree or a Purdue University degree. The city of Indianapolis, we know this is the sporting capital of the world. We were able to see, how the city of Indianapolis can come together, what they did with the NCAA tournament and how that was put together.
All right, Coach, and my final question is, how do you plan to draw attendance and community support to the Farmers Coliseum?
It's about getting out in the community, connecting some of those dots that haven't been touched on in a few years. And then it's about connecting with our students here on campus, okay? It's about me figuring out why they haven't, been to the Farmers Coliseum and what can I do to get them there. Obviously, we're going to look at doing more promotions and giveaways, but it's also just to hear them and to figure out the why. Once we figure out the why, we'll have the answer and we'll fix it. But and then it's winning. simple and plain. We all know everybody loves a winner, so it's about winning as well. But we're going to need the fans and this community to come out to give us that extra push from time to time, and those crowds can help bring excitement and fuel the team to get them over the hump at times. So I'm excited about that, reconnecting the fans and getting Farmers Coliseum going.
All right, Coach Crenshaw, thank you so much for joining us on the season finale of Jack Sports Zone. Congratulations on your new hire as a first-time head coach, and good luck on this upcoming season.
Thank you. Really appreciate you guys having me, and anything I can do in the future to help you guys out, don't hesitate to give me a call.